At the beginning of the film, a group of soldiers are shown. They are passing through dense forest. One of the soldiers is deaf, so he can't listen anything around him. His companion gestures to go backwards. Then everyone turns around and stops somewhere to take rest, where they find a lake. The deaf soldier is knighting his horse with tree. Meanwhile, he sees a piece of gold in the water. He comes close, picks it and keeps it secretly. Everyone is unaware of the siren witch, living in the water. Her body is completely loaded with jewels. She is hiding in the water and spying them. The deaf soldier notices the disturbance in the water. When he turns back, he finds nothing. We see some other people along with deaf soldier. They are practicing black magic. Siren witch appears and starts dancing weirdly. Then, she starts screaming uproariously. Soldiers get spell after hearing her voice. Now, every soldier wants siren. After that, siren witch dances strangely on the water. But soldiers get aggressive, hearing her voice. A lot of them are killed. Soldiers that are left have extreme attraction for the siren. But everyone is hysterically killing each other, chasing siren witch. Siren witch is making extremely weird screams. Meanwhile, she starts stepping backwards. Deaf soldier is analyzing whole situation keenly. In the beginning, he was astonished. When soldiers were killing each other, he sees siren witch and become terrified. He can't hear screams of siren witch, that's why he can't bewitch by siren. On other hand, soldiers hearing her scream are getting madly seduced by her and were rushing towards her. But they start drowning in the water and no one survived. Then siren watches deaf soldier and starts screaming loudly, but soldier cannot hear her and remains unaffected by screams. This confuses again. She again tries to cast spell on him, but all in vain. Siren witch gets terrified. She gets worried and disappears in water again. But deaf soldier couldn't comprehend the situation. He is utterly confused. Siren starts spying her. Now, witch gets attracted toward him and she wants him. Deaf soldier start escaping to save his life. Suddenly, he busts into the tree and gets unconscious. After some times, he becomes conscious and manages to stand on his foot. But soldier is exhausted. He decides to take rest on the side of lake. After some time, darkness of night spreads and he nods off. Suddenly siren witch appears and comes close to soldier. She gets madly attracted towards him. Siren witch sleeps with him, but soldier is unaware of this. In the morning, soldier wakes up. Soldier feels something on him, turns and sees siren. Siren also wakes up and tries to escape, but soldier grabs him. During this, few jewels get stuck in his hands. Soldiers get amazed by watching these jewels and want these jewels. Soldier gets extremely greedy and starts chasing her. She starts floating in the water and comes to the edges. Both are staring each other. Soldier drops his sword and starts approaching siren. Siren thinks that soldier is in love with her and starts dancing eagerly. During this, soldier pretends to be in love with her. Soldier is only interested in the jewels on her body. Both tries to kiss, but her lips has jewels and soldier can't kiss her. Siren witch cannot stop her and starts kissing her forcefully. That pierces his lips and his lips start bleeding. Soldier let it happen and brings her to edge and lay her down pretending to make love, ponders his head strongly on her head. Siren witch becomes faint. Soldier becomes successful in his plans and then he pulls every jewel from her body. Siren body is bleeding heavily. He throws her body into water. Then we see siren's body floating in the water and water is turning red. He assembles all jewels in a sack and tries to escape. Now, siren body is burying deep into water and blood is spreading everywhere, which is horrific. But soldier is unaware of this. He was traveling with huge load of jewels. It was tiresome task. During this, he sees lake's water. He comes to the edge to drink water. As soon he starts drinking it, he sees outburst of siren's blood in the water. Soldier drinks it. He is feeling extremely bad. He is terrified. Then he starts voices of splashing of siren's blood. He becomes extremely anxious and behaves hysterically because he can't understand anything. After some time, he starts restoring his senses and intends to return. Meanwhile, siren witch appears. When she sees her body without jewels, she gets extremely sad. Now, she understands that soldier was not in love with her. He only needs jewels of her body. When she sees soldier, she starts screaming ferociously. Now soldier can hear all voices. He is getting mad. He can't control himself and starts drowning in the water. Siren is extremely angry of his betrayal. She is screaming vehemently. Her voice is devastatingly affecting soldier voice. Now, soldier cannot do anything because he was in her spell. Soldier gets drowned in bloody water because of his greed. This makes siren extremely wretched. She is heart-sicken and broke because of his betrayal. This quack soldier's body sinks deep in the water with other soldiers. And this story ends here.